Kelly, and welcome to installment number 4 of Create Like Temple, where we do STEM projects from Temple Grandin's book, Calling All Minds. I'm super excited because we're going to be doing Temple's childhood bird kite today. And this is something that when she was young, she used to be fascinated by things that soared in the air, like birds and planes and kites. And she decided to make her own. And the first one she tried didn't work out so well. And so she started looking at those birds and those kites and those other things like planes to see like what shape they were and how they maybe had a head or had wings or whatever. And then she tried to start fashioning a kite that had those elements. And so this is a copy of beginning stages of Temple's bird kite. This is the shape that we're going to be using today. And you can kind of even see from this the elements of maybe a plane, right? Or maybe a bird. I see elements of possible wings and a possible head. So we're gonna work on this in the next little bit. And on this video, if you need to pause the video so that you can do the next step, please do that. To start, make sure your file folder is in front of you with the longest edges at the bottom and at the top, and the shortest edges on the sides. So you want it like this in front of you. We are going to find basically the halfway point along the bottom edge and put a dot right in the middle where that halfway point is. So take your ruler, line up that left edge with the left edge of the folder, and you'll notice that it is right about 12 inches, really close to 12 inches. So we're gonna say 6 inches is the middle, and we're gonna call that good enough. So I'm gonna scoot this down to the bottom edge of this, and at 6 inches, I'm putting a dot. And I think you can see that there. The next step is we need to place a dot along the left side and the right side at 6 1/4 inches from the bottom. So we're going to take our ruler and we're going to, along the left edge, we're going to measure up 6 1/4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4 is right there on that side. And then we're going to do the same on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4 is right there. So now we have 3 dots. One here, here, and here. And we want to connect those dots with our ruler, with the straight edge of our ruler. So I'm going to now connect my dots like so. And like so, and then all the way across, like, let's see, like so. And what we have now is a giant triangle, all right? I'm starting to see the beginnings of the bird. I see some wings and what will be a tail. Now we need to add our bird's head here at the top. As you can see, this is the one that I've already done. And to do so, we need to measure 4 1/2 inches from this edge in and 4 1/2 inches again from this edge in. So take your ruler, we're going along this line here. Line up your ruler with the left edge of your folder, and we want 4 1/2 inches in. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2. Put a little mark there, and I'm gonna flip my ruler. I'm gonna have to read upside down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2, and put a mark right there. Now you can see those are the beginnings of my lines that go up that make the bird head. And next we need to add a line going up from each of these dots, going up 2 1/2 inches. So from here toward the top of the folder. So I'm gonna line my ruler up this way along my mark. And 2.5 is 1, 2.5 right here. So let's hold my ruler steady and go up to 2.5. And I want to do the same on this side. Hold my ruler steady and go up to 2.5. You can draw like an arched head, because I don't want my bird head to have a flat head. So I'm kind of gonna make an arch with my just freestyle there. All right, and now you can see my bird kite, and I have a bird head, wings, and the tail. If you would like, you can draw eyes for your bird. You can even color your bird if you want, or decorate your bird. And it's ready to cut out now. On Temple's directions, she says that the wing tips need to be folded approximately 1 inch from the end of the wing. 1 inch, that's where 1 inch kind of falls. You can also take the bird head and you can lower it by bending it down a little bit, because if you see a bird flying in the sky, you often see it with its head down, looking around at the ground or what have you. We're going to work on the kite tail. This crepe paper is our kite tail, and this is the length that Temple advised us to use. However, she said that you can experiment with different lengths of kite tail to see how it affects the ability the kite has to fly. That is something that you are welcome to do. I didn't give you extra crepe paper, but you could try it at this length, and then you could maybe cut it off and make it shorter and see what kind of difference that makes. Or you might be able to use something around the house that's similar in weight to this. I had some ribbon that I used for gift wrapping, and you could use a ribbon, a really wide ribbon, to be your kite tail. So there are lots of other things you can do. Part of being an engineer is just trying things, and you can experiment with different things around your house. Take the thread that I gave you, and if you'll notice, I have taped each end of the thread to the black spool. So you can kind of find one of those pieces of tape and scratch at it with your fingernail. Pull the tape away and get a hold of the end of that string. Gently let that string unravel from our spool. I'm going to measure my string. I'm going to get a little more than 1 foot of string. And then I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to make sure you don't unravel that thread, because we're going to use it again in a minute. Just set that aside. Use a little bit of tape and break a piece off, and tape your string to the middle of your kite tail, your crepe paper, so that it's attached like so. You can do that. And now you have a tail attached to a string. A little piece. Attach the other end of my thread. So I have one end of my thread is attached to the crepe paper, and the other end of the thread I'm going to tape to the point of my bird kite. So right there. So now you can see I have it's attached. See there? Look at that. It's looking more like a kite now. So here's the end of my thread. I'm going to get a piece of tape, and I'm going to take my tape and put it at the end of my thread. My tape attached to my thread, and I'm going to attach it to the top of my bird head. Keep my thread on my spool because it's easier to manage. So I'm going to hold that in this hand. But if you'll see, I also have my tail. I encourage you to go outside with your kite, hold on to your spool, and the spool allows you to unwind the thread as the wind takes the kite up in the air. Temple said that she used to attach it to her tricycle. I don't know, that sounds like a fun experiment. If I had a tricycle, I think I would try that, but I don't. So you have made Temple's childhood bird kite. If it flies, that's fabulous. If it doesn't fly, you might look at it and think about how you could make it better, how you could change it up and see if it flies better if you do something differently. Maybe you change the wings, maybe you change the tail. You can try lots of different things.